Today is 12/31/23. For the people that like the jokes, it's 123 123. Typically what people do on the last day of the year is they start to think about the coming year and what's going to be happening. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, what you can expect out of the food truck industry for 2024. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. Table Needs welcomes you to listen in as Christian and Tracy, co-owners of Restless Coffee, spill the beans on their debut year in the food truck scene. Uncover the secrets behind their secret menu, how they continually provide stellar customer service, and why building a strong community following is so important. Click the link in the episode description to watch the video for free. First thing I want you to understand about 2024 is it is a presidential election year. And what happens in every presidential election year is a downturn in the economy. Sometimes it's a very slight downturn. Sometimes it's a big downturn. What causes this downturn is uncertainty. Businesses hate uncertainty. And we've seen this in every presidential election year that I've been involved with, dating all the way back to 1980. Sales have been down. Sometimes just a little tiny bit, but it has been a down year. What you need to be prepared for is if you have been open before 2024, could be a little bit less busy than your current year. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing one thing wrong. That's just what happens during an election year, especially a presidential election year. The big businesses, they're worried about who's going to be in charge because they always have to be worried about what's going to happen to the corporate tax rates, what's going to happen to mandatory health care benefits, and of course, interest rates. And when they're worried about those kind of things, they don't spend money. And if they're not spending money as big businesses, that means people that are working for those big businesses don't have a lot of discretionary funds to be going out and eating as frequently as we would like. Just be prepared for, again, that little bit of a downturn. But what else is going to be happening next year? I think that you're going to see a lot more plant-based and health-conscious food trucks come online. And I really think that if you are an existing food truck, you might want to look into having those kind of options. There are more and more people that are looking to eat healthy, that are looking for the plant-based foods and then those plant-based foods substitutions for meat. So it'd be very, very beneficial to you to have something working in your pipeline right now and be able to premiere it next year. As with any podcast that I do where I'm talking about food, I always tell people you got to have flavor in your food. One of the ways that you can get flavor into your food is fusion, where you take two different types of cuisine and kind of marry them or merge them together to create, number one, a unique product, but then also it's going to have a lot of flavor that people aren't accustomed to. People go out to a food truck, they're looking for something different. And if they're not looking for something different, they're looking for comfort food. That's what people kind of expect out of us. So if you're going to go on the experimental route, look into fusion. How can I fuse two different types of cuisine to come up with something that nobody else sells, but still is loaded with flavor? And that's where every food truck needs to be focused, loaded with flavor. One other thing you can look at on your menu is gourmet comfort food. Classic comfort foods, people know them, they know what they should taste like, and they can't wait to get them in a lot of circumstances. For example, we just started selling hamburgers about 3 weeks ago, and it's already shot up to being the number one seller on our food truck. And why is that? Because it's recognizable. People know what a burger should taste like. And when you start to do a really good burger, then you're going to have a lot of repeat customers. And that's just from a comfort food. What you can do to elevate it and be able to charge maybe a little bit more money for that basic hamburger would be to put in those gourmet touches, the high quality ingredients, something that people wouldn't cook for themselves at home. Everybody, if you open up the refrigerator, is probably going to have mayonnaise, ketchup, pickle, mustard, onion, tomato, and lettuce. They're going to have all that stuff already in the refrigerator, most likely. But when you create a burger with something that they aren't going to have at the ready at home, now they're more likely to try yours and then want to come back and try it again and again if it tastes good. And it doesn't have to be super fancy. You can do something like just a mushroom Swiss burger. That's not something somebody's going to cook for themselves, most likely. One of the buzzwords of food trucks for next year, and actually has been the last several years, is locally sourced ingredients. That's going to continue. I think that locally sourced ingredients give you, number one, fresher food. It also gives you a reason to explain why your prices are a little bit more expensive, say, than McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King, even though you may be selling nearly the same products. Locally sourced also gives you the opportunity for cross-promotion. And people know this particular farm and they love getting the meat from it, so you cross-promote that farm. Or there's a farm that grows vegetables that you use, cross-promote the farm. Or a bakery, or a dairy. There's even chicken farms. If there's something local that you can tie into, hopefully you can get a better deal on the food. But if not, at least you guys can cross-promote each other. The locally sourced ingredients still going to be popular in all the coming years, I imagine. There's going to be a lot more technological innovations. With AI and people understanding how to use AI, you're going to see a lot more, not only robotic things coming out into the food industry, but you're also going to see a lot more opportunities for people to be replaced with AI. There are many restaurant chains that are using AI to do their drive-through windows. And AI can get it fairly right. Because all they got to do is be able to say, "Hi, welcome to the restaurant. Can I take your order, please?" And then key in whatever is being told to them. And then all they got to do is suggest a sell. Fairly simple thing. The good thing about AI is they would learn how to pace the line. And I think just the opportunity for that, especially for the solo operators, is going to be something worth checking into. And it's only going to get better and better. But having said that, that creates an opportunity for food trucks, more so than any other of our competitors, whether it be a restaurant or a grocery store or some other place that sells food. And that opportunity is going to be, we can give personal service. If you have a food truck that operates with 2 or 3 people and it's family members, where you're pretty much guaranteed people are going to show up to work, now you can do something that a lot of restaurants cannot do, and that's give personal human-to-human interactions and service. So you can either go one of two directions. You can go into, we're going to be all in on personal service, or we're going to be all in on the technological service. There's opportunities for both. And I don't think one's going to be better than the other. It's just going to be how the food truck markets, whichever direction they choose to go in. There's always going to be opportunities for collaborations and partnerships. And I think you need to work on those when it makes sense. For example, there are a lot of food trucks that partner with other food trucks when their menus complement each other. You have a food truck that does mainly desserts. Well, you want to pair with somebody that does main entree items, dinner items, or lunch items. So now people can have a full, well-rounded meal. That's one way you can collaborate or partner. There's going to be another buzzword that's been very popular the last few years and is going to continue into next year, and that's sustainable practices. Many areas are looking to reduce the footprint, the paper footprint of restaurants and food trucks in general. So you're looking at reductions in paper, reductions in plastic, reductions in the paper bowls and forks and spoons and knives and those kind of things that are essentially single serve, then thrown in the trash. If you live in an area that's talking about that, it would behoove you to get ahead of that curve and find you good sources for those kind of products. Well, this isn't all around the country yet. It may be in the next decade or so, but there are certain pockets of the country where sustainability is a huge deal. If you happen to live in one of those areas, you need to take it serious and be thinking ahead. Social media. It's one of those things I talk about all the time. Social media will continue to be a leader for people that want to show off their food. It's not only just food trucks, but just home cooks in general and people that are the semi-celebrity chefs. There are many, many businesses that take advantage of social media, and you need to be one of them. Can't rest on your laurels. If you have 10,000 followers today, you need to work on a goal for next year that makes sense. How many more followers you're going to get? Followers mean you have people seeing your stuff. Doesn't necessarily mean they're coming and buying your stuff. You got to have people see it before they can come buy it. One thing I want you to think about for 2024 is your media content, your social media content. And one way to create content without thinking about it is a little procedure called documentation. So no, documentation isn't you got in trouble and now somebody's documenting what you did wrong. Documentation, think of it as you got to make a recipe. You're going to make whatever your number one seller is. Document how you do it. Set up a couple of cameras. Don't even worry about the cameras being on. You're not talking. You're just doing what you do. You're preparing food. You're slicing. You're cutting. You're mixing. You're doing what you normally do. You're just documenting what you do. What this gives you, number one, is content, because you can go back and edit in a voiceover to those images. And now it becomes interesting because it's not you searching for ums and uhs and all that. It becomes you just kind of explaining what you're doing. And you don't have to worry about doing it in real time because you can edit out where you're trying to think about, well, what am I doing there? If you document everything that you do, and this gives you opportunities for content that's unique and different. Document everything. Hooking your truck up, unhooking your trailer up. Document turning on the equipment. Document, again, recipes. Document how you do service. Welcome to my food truck. Can I take your order, please? Document those things. Turn them into those little behind-the-scenes videos. All about getting content out there that no one else does. One last thing I want to leave you with. Really focus on catering and private event opportunities. Catering is the easiest way for you to make a bunch of money in a short amount of time. And it's not only caterings like weddings and graduation parties and that type of thing. You're also looking to cater business lunches, business dinners, things where a corporation is going to be paying you big money to do. You want to take advantage of how popular food trucks are right now and how trendy food trucks are. Get your name out there. You should have on your truck somewhere that says "We Cater." Your email signature should also say "We Cater." Your business card should say "We Cater." You always want to be marketing. That includes not only social media, but the things I just mentioned. People got to know that you do these different things. They should not have to assume. So there you have it. There's a few things I think are going to be happening next year. Obviously, there's nothing earth-shaking there other than maybe understanding what's going to happen with the economy and the presidential election. That is something that is experience-based as opposed to prediction-based. But just be prepared. That's the best bit of advice I can give you, is be prepared for what's going to happen. And don't take everything seriously when sales aren't where they should be. It may not be your fault. It could be just the uncertainty of the presidential election cycle. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.